Have you ever tried to turn away from a defender, but your player takes a heavy touch and loses the ball? Or maybe you pushed the joystick in one direction, but your player didn't move the way you expected. Most players blame scripting. Others blame lag, their phone, or even the game itself. But the truth is, the joystick isn't random. It's actually one of the most precise mechanics in eFootball Mobile. The problem is that most players have never learned how to use it properly. In this video, I'm going to show you how to master joystick control, how the joystick actually works, and how Division 1 players use it to dribble better, keep possession longer, and create more chances without relying on flashy skill moves. Let's get started. The first mistake almost everyone makes is treating the joystick like an on and off button. Most players either push it all the way to the edge or don't touch it at all. But that's not how it was designed to be used. Think of the joystick like the steering wheel of a car. Tiny movements make tiny adjustments. Bigger movements make bigger adjustments. The farther you push the joystick, the more aggressive your player's movement becomes. This means the joystick isn't just telling your player where to go, it's also influencing how quickly they move, how close they keep the ball, and how much control they have over each touch. Now let's break this down. When you make a very small joystick movement, your player keeps the ball much closer to their feet. This is what gives you close control. It's perfect when you're surrounded by defenders, trying to protect possession, or looking for a pass. If you move the joystick a little farther, your player starts covering more ground, while still keeping decent control of the ball. This is the movement you'll use most often during a match, because it gives you a good balance between speed and control. But when you push the joystick all the way to the edge, your player takes much heavier touches. This allows you to run faster into open space, but it also makes it much easier for defenders to win the ball if they're close enough. This is why many players keep losing possession without realizing why. They're using maximum joystick input even when they're under pressure. Watch closely. The defender didn't suddenly become overpowered. The problem was that I pushed the joystick too far, causing my player to knock the ball ahead. That extra touch gave the defender enough time to intercept. Now compare that with this example. Here, I'm using much smaller joystick movements. The ball stays close to my feet, I stay balanced, and the defender can't get close enough to make a clean tackle. The next thing you need to master is changing direction. Most players panic when a defender approaches. They instantly flick the joystick from one side to the other as fast as possible. While this feels natural, it often causes awkward animations, heavy touches, and slow turns. Instead, try making smoother direction changes. Rather than snapping the joystick from left to right instantly, guide it naturally into the new direction. Your player stays balanced, keeps control of the ball, and turns much more smoothly. Different situations require different turns. A small 45-degree turn is great for making slight adjustments while dribbling. A 90-degree turn is useful for escaping a defender who is running directly at you. A 180-degree turn is perfect when you need to completely change direction and recycle possession instead of forcing an attack. One of the biggest reasons players struggle with joystick control is panic. The moment an opponent starts pressing aggressively, many players begin flicking the joystick everywhere without thinking. Their movements become rushed, their touches become heavy, and they lose possession almost immediately. The best players stay calm. They don't constantly move the joystick to its maximum position. They make small, controlled adjustments and only increase their movement when there's actually space to attack. Now let's talk about the relationship between the joystick and the dash button. Many players think sprinting is what makes them dangerous. In reality, sprinting should only be used at the right moments. Think of the joystick and the dash button as teammates. A small joystick movement without sprint gives you maximum close control. A medium joystick movement with light sprint helps you accelerate while keeping control. A full joystick movement with full sprint is best when you're attacking open space with no immediate pressure. If you sprint all the time, you're making your own dribbling harder.
Este equipo es terriblemente defensivo. No recuerdo mal, no.
Another important concept is body orientation. Your joystick doesn't only affect where your player runs after receiving the ball, it also affects your first touch. Before your player even controls the pass, think about where you want your next touch to go. If you point the joystick toward open space before the ball arrives, your first touch naturally takes you away from pressure, saving valuable time and making it much harder for defenders to close you down. One of the most underrated skills in eFootball isn't a skill move at all. It's baiting defenders with simple joystick movement. Instead of attacking immediately, make a small movement in one direction. Wait for the defender to commit. As soon as they step toward you, change direction into the space they've just left behind. Notice that I didn't use a single skill move. The joystick alone created enough separation. If you want to improve quickly, you also need to practice the right way. Start by going into training mode or an AI match. First, spend a few minutes simply walking around the center circle, using only small joystick movements. Focus on making your movements smooth instead of fast. Next, practice dribbling without using sprint. Learn how to keep the ball close, using only the joystick. Then, practice changing direction using 45-degree, 90-degree, and 180-degree turns until they become natural. Finally, play one full match where you only sprint when you've actually beaten your defender or when you're running into open space. This forces you to rely on proper joystick control instead of speed. The biggest difference between average players and top players isn't that they know more skill moves. It's that they know exactly how much joystick movement every situation requires. Sometimes the correct answer is a tiny adjustment. Sometimes it's a medium movement. Sometimes it's full speed. The key is understanding when to use each one. Once you master that, you'll notice your dribbling becomes smoother. Your first touches become cleaner. You lose possession less often, and you'll find yourself creating space without needing complicated skill moves. The joystick isn't just a way to move your player. It's the foundation of everything you do in eFootball Mobile. Master it, and every other part of your game becomes easier. If this guide helped you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more eFootball Mobile tutorials, and let me know in the comments what mechanic you'd like me to break down next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.